MIT may have just revealed one of the most promising answers yet to the world's growing water crisis. Imagine a device no larger than a standard window that can pull clean, drinkable water straight out of desert air. No electricity, no moving parts, no pumps, fans, or filters. And once it is set in place, it requires no human input at all. That alone would sound almost impossible. But what makes this breakthrough even more remarkable is that it has already been tested in one of the driest places on Earth, under conditions where other passive water harvesting systems completely fail. In an environment where moisture is scarce and survival often depends on energy, infrastructure, or expensive technology, this simple-looking system still managed to produce water. If it can work there, it could one day change what water access looks like for millions of people living far from power grids, pipelines, and traditional supply systems. So how can a box of glass and engineered material extract usable water from air that feels almost completely dry? And more importantly, could this invention become the foundation of a truly self-sufficient water supply in some of the harshest climates on the planet? The idea of collecting water from the air is not new. In fact, it is one of the oldest survival strategies in human history. Long before modern engineering, ancient societies were already building systems to capture and store precious water whenever nature made it available. Archaeological evidence shows that as early as 2000 BCE, settlements carved channels into stone to direct rainwater into underground cisterns capable of storing vast reserves. Later, Roman cities expanded these ideas into massive aqueducts and collection networks that moved and preserved water with astonishing precision. But rain has always been unreliable, especially in the places that need water most. So people adapted by learning to harvest moisture not just from clouds above, but from the air around them. In South America, the Inca used woven fabric screens to capture fog drifting inland from the Pacific. On Lanzarote, farmers spread volcanic gravel across their fields to trap dew overnight and guide that moisture to crops below. Even today, similar systems remain in use. Large fog harvesting projects in Morocco, improved fog nets in Chile's Atacama Desert, and Warka water towers in Africa all prove the same idea. The atmosphere itself can become a source of life. Despite their ingenuity, all of these traditional water harvesting systems share the same critical weakness. They depend on relatively high humidity. Fog nets, dew collectors, and similar passive methods work only when enough moisture is already present in the air. When humidity drops too low, their output collapses. And that creates a frustrating contradiction. The places suffering the most severe water stress are usually the driest places, exactly where these systems become least effective. To overcome that limit, engineers spent the last 2 decades developing powered machines known as atmospheric water generators, or AWGs. These devices cool air below its dew point, forcing water vapor to condense, much like oversized dehumidifiers. In warm and humid environments, they can produce a useful daily supply of drinking water for a household. But there is a catch. They consume significant electricity for every unit of water they create. That makes them difficult to deploy in remote, off-grid, or low-income regions, which are often the same communities most affected by water scarcity. So the real challenge has remained unsolved for years. How do you harvest water from very dry air without relying on heavy infrastructure, expensive energy, or complicated machinery? That is the exact gap MIT set out to close. In June 2025, engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology published the results of a new passive water harvester designed specifically for desert air. The device is about the size of a standard window, with a total surface area of roughly 5.5 square feet. From the outside, it looks like a simple glass box. But at its center hangs a specially engineered sheet of hydrogel shaped like bubble wrap, covered in small raised domes that greatly increase the surface area available to absorb moisture. Inside that gel is lithium chloride, a salt known for its extraordinary ability to pull water vapor from the atmosphere, even when humidity falls as low as 10%. That is far below the level at which fog nets or dew collectors can continue working. Earlier hydrogel designs using similar salts had a major problem, however. The salt often leaked into the collected water, making it unsafe to drink without added filtration. MIT solved that issue by incorporating glycerol into the material. This stabilizes the salt inside the gel and prevents it from migrating into the water output. Tests showed the harvested water contained salt levels safely below drinking water limits for human consumption. The brilliance of MIT's design lies not only in the material itself, but in how the entire system uses the natural rhythm of day and night. At night, temperatures drop and relative humidity rises slightly, even in desert environments. During this cooler period, the hydrogel absorbs water vapor from the surrounding air. It acts like a sponge at the molecular level, pulling moisture inward and storing it until conditions change. Then, after sunrise, the process reverses. As the air warms and sunlight heats the device, the hydrogel releases that trapped moisture as vapor into the sealed glass chamber. This is where the second innovation becomes essential. The outer surface of the glass is coated with a special radiative cooling polymer that keeps the glass cooler than the air inside the chamber. Because of that temperature difference, the released vapor condenses on the inner surface of the glass as liquid droplets. Those droplets then run downward through small built-in channels at the bottom of the device, where they are collected as clean, drinkable water. The entire cycle renews itself every 24 hours. It requires no electricity, no batteries, no filters, and no routine human operation beyond initially placing the panel in the environment. A promising design means little without real-world proof, and that is exactly why MIT tested the prototype in Death Valley, California, one of the driest environments in North America. Over the course of 1 week, the device was exposed to conditions that pushed passive water harvesting to its limit. Relative humidity during the test ranged from about 21% to 88%, a wide swing that included extremely dry periods where existing passive systems typically stop working altogether. Yet the MIT harvester continued to produce water across that range. Its daily output varied from nearly 2 fluid ounces to about 5.5 fluid ounces per day. That may not sound like much at first, but the importance lies in the conditions under which that water was produced. On the driest days, when fog nets and dew collectors would normally fail, this device still worked. In some comparable situations, it even outperformed certain powered atmospheric water generators. The researchers estimated that 8 panels of this size could provide the daily drinking water needs of 1 adult. A larger array could potentially support an entire household's drinking water supply, all without ongoing energy costs, moving mechanisms, or dependence on a centralized water system. To understand why this invention matters, it helps to look at how humanity has responded to water scarcity until now. For most of the 20th century, the dominant solutions were massive infrastructure projects: dams, reservoirs, aqueducts, and large-scale groundwater pumping systems. These methods moved existing water from one place to another, but they demanded enormous investment, political coordination, and reliable maintenance. In the regions under the greatest water stress, those conditions often do not exist. As aquifers began to decline and agriculture continued consuming nearly 70% of global freshwater withdrawals, attention shifted toward desalination and water recycling. Both can work, but both also depend on energy, complex equipment, and expensive construction. Meanwhile, the crisis keeps deepening. Today, more than 2 billion people still lack regular access to clean and safe drinking water, and over 1 million lives are lost each year to water-related causes. This is not only a problem in poor or remote nations. In the United States, tens of millions face water insecurity, while across Europe, large portions of the population are already affected by scarcity. By 2030, experts warn that global groundwater demand could exceed supply by 40%, making new decentralized solutions urgently necessary. For now, MIT's device remains a proof-of-concept prototype, not a commercial product ready for mass deployment. But even at this early stage, it suggests a radically different future for water access, one in which drinking water does not always need to be pumped from the ground, piped across long distances, or purchased in plastic bottles. Instead, it could simply be pulled from the air using smart materials and passive design. The team behind the project is already focused on the next steps. Lead author Chang Liu, now a professor at the National University of Singapore, says future work will improve the hydrogel itself, increasing water yield, speeding up moisture release, and lowering production costs. Researchers are also developing multi-panel arrays that could combine several harvesters into a vertical system, scaling output from milliliters to liters and moving the technology closer to practical daily use. More field testing across humid, coastal, and dry inland climates will help determine how durable and adaptable the system can become. It is not a complete answer yet, but it may be the beginning of one. A future where clean water becomes more local, more resilient, and far more accessible